Good morning everyone, it's Yvonne here from the Aussie Goddess to do your What's Cracking reading. Thank you for all your beautiful comments yesterday. They have been pretty exquisite readings lately, but a lot of messages coming through. And I know that the last couple of days Spirit has been saying to me I need to take some time out. There's a couple of things I need to go back and pay attention to. So every now and again I have to take a day out and just do some conversations with God, as they call it. Firstly, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. I want to say a huge thank you to the beautiful people who supported me on Instagram and on YouTube this week. Some of you feel like it's really bizarre, but I actually feel like I know many of you now, so it's such a pleasure to see you on board with me, and thank you again. It's just amazing support. If you are interested in a personal reading with me, doing some life coaching with me, or joining me for classes, everything is in the box below. Or you can go over to the Aussie Goddess Facebook page and like my page. If you do that too, you'll be included in any lives I do there. And don't forget, now I've always been, since the beginning of time, on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and now of course on TikTok, and I'm loving the TikTok journey. That's very exciting for me. So any of those places you can find me now. And all the readings I do on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok are all free. But if you want a question answered or a reading done, then that's a little different. So contact me through my Facebook page, probably the best, or email. Alrighty. Let's see what we're doing here. All right, so we have the Page of Wands coming through. I'm using the Wizard's Tarot. I have an ongoing relationship with the Wizard's Tarot. Sometimes I'm fickle and I'll sort of peel through a few different decks, and other times I actually fall in love with the deck and it's really hard to put away. And the Wizard's Tarot's been like that for me. I don't know what it is about some decks. You just get totally addicted. So, okay, so we have the Page of Wands coming through. So there's some sort of communication coming through when the Page of Wands appears, whether that is the spoken word, an email, a message, a telephone message. There is something coming through for you here. Now, the wands represent passion. So it sort of gives rise to somebody feeling quite passionate when sending this message. But it also comes through when you're waiting on a job application, you're waiting to hear from somebody, perhaps a family member. There's always this energy behind the Page of Wands that there's an urgency to it. Something somebody feels very intent on delivering. All right, so this is probably the universe talking about taking time out to meditate. I feel like I'm getting a reminder. There is a need for you to take time out here. Now, whether or not it's as a result of this message, it may be that you are getting downloads here from the universe telling you that you're pushing too hard, going too hard at things that you need to take time out for sure. So with the Four of Swords, this is a card of rest and recuperation. It can be recuperation after an illness or hospitalization. So it can be a card that represents healing. But very often it just talks about taking time out from the universe, resting your mind, resting your body, and can be sort of like a warning of burnout. And maybe for some of you, this is what you're sort of dealing with at the moment. It may be that you're being called too often from work to do your work. You may be working in an industry which is very, very busy at the moment. But whatever this is, the universe is saying here, you need to take time out. You need to slow down. You need to slow your day down, and you need to take time for yourself. If you don't do this, then often it just becomes a forced issue rather than, just a little warning. It's a bit like ignoring a toothache, I guess. Eventually it will become very painful. So there is something here that the universe is asking you to pay attention to. We do have the Seven of Pentacles here. So I'm feeling here like the universe is asking you to slow down because something is coming in or something is about to take place. If you have been busily manifesting something, it could be that you're tiring yourself out mentally. If you were putting up with something, say at work, that was constant and draining on your resources, it could be even a person here, draining your energy, then it is time to stop. And you will know that because you become unrealistically tired when people are draining your energy. The old emotional vampires. So it could be you're dealing with something here that's been ongoing. You could be dealing with a person who's been draining your resources as well. So this is a reading about really understanding how to take care of yourself. Let me just go a little bit further because I feel like you're manifesting something. So some of you may be manifesting someone into your life. It may be a time where you're using a lot of energy to do that. It could also be that your mind is taken up or absorbed with someone or something where you are constantly focused on something, which does mean eventually you're going to manifest it, but it also means that in the meantime your resources are all going towards something here. It could be a person here. It could also be a decision. Maybe you've got some sort of decision to make. I feel like some sort of contact has come in for you. There is this feeling that you're drained because you're focusing on something. But when I see the Two of Pentacles, it could be that you're focusing on balance and needing to take time out. Focusing on your well-being, perhaps. Perhaps some of you have been investing in your own well-being. But I feel like there's a questioning here. Oh, wow. And then we have the Temperance card. It's so about balance. Three of Wands. Okay. All right. Some of you may be heavily focused on your future. Some of you may be trying to understand where you want to go in life, what you want, how you're going to get there. Now, that in itself is a very healthy thing. Planning, strategizing on how you're going to reach your goals. But what I get here is there's some anxiety and frustration about getting to your goals. So maybe you have something that you want or you've set yourself to and you're really burying yourself deep in it and it's become a primary focus. What the universe is saying to you here is you need to either slow your roll, take time out, and start self-investing, because you're not going to be able to go that whole journey if you are putting in as much energy to that as what you are now. Focusing on the future can make you feel quite anxious too, because you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself to achieve something. So it's still about being able to take time out, use mindfulness, use meditation, but not be so intent or focused on something at your own detriment. Okay, there is a point here where you have to sort of stand back sometimes and let someone else take the load for you or help you in some way, shape or form. Because sometimes we feel that we are the only ones that can do the job properly. It's a bit of a childhood glitch in the fabric. And it's certainly about perfectionism. So maybe have a look at yourself and just make sure that you're not trying so hard that you're driving yourself into the ground. All right. Potent messages. Oh, remember, you're the Empress. Remember, you're already where you need to be. You're always already where you need to be. You're already on your path. You're already going in the direction you need to be going in. You are already everything you need to be here. But some of us just strive to be more than what we are. Some of us sometimes really, the pursuit of happiness is what Spirit is talking about here. There is some need sometimes for us to be more or want to be more than we can possibly be. But we still struggle for perfection. And you're already there. You're already where you need to be. You don't have to struggle for this. While planning and strategizing is necessary, struggling is not. Okay, let's see what they mean by that. All right, so we have the Queen of Pentacles coming up next door to the Empress. I always say, to me, the Queen of Pentacles is the closest queen to this energy. The Queen of Pentacles can represent Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. This is a general reading, so it's possible you could be one of those signs watching. But this is about the energy of the Queen of Pentacles. She's very grounded, so she's not in her head all the time like the Queen of Swords. She's very practical, so she's not in her heart all the time like the Queen of Cups. She is not letting her passion overrule her practicality, so she's not like the Queen of Wands. This is a person who understands her greater purpose, and she lives within that energy. She knows what she wants and she goes for it, but she doesn't overdo it. So she likes to have her creature comforts. She likes to have her finances in order. She likes to have her house in order. But she's not over the top with that. She knows what's required and how to get there. Okay, so we have the Nine of Swords coming through. I feel like here, and the Emperor. So I have the Emperor and the Empress tailing and heading this reading. But there is some sort of energy here of either frustration, worry, anxiousness about the future. And maybe it has to do with a significant other or somebody you have in your life or somebody that you have around you. Maybe you haven't even met this person yet. But there is some need here for you to take back your power. Let's just keep going. Queen of Swords coming through with the Justice card. Oh, wow. Okay. And the end of a cycle. That makes so much sense here. There is something you are learning here. There is a learning cycle here, a learning energy coming through. There is some sort of realization or some sort of energy of realization coming through here. There's this energy of finally seeing something in a way that's helpful to you. Maybe you've been thinking about it for a while but haven't actually been able to put your finger on what you wanted. Something here is either gnawing away at you and you're pushing yourself to do something about it, but you're draining yourself in the process. For some of you here, you could be waiting on someone. That's possible. For others of you, I feel that you're waiting on something. And there is something you're doing while you're waiting that is becoming exhausting and tiresome because you're really focused on that thing rather than being like the Queen of Pentacles and just trusting that it will come in its own time. There's some sort of cycle, karmic cycle that needs to complete. And you need to take a different approach to it. I feel like many of you can feel the energy of this cycle coming to a close. And it's like you're either trying to throw yourself into things so you don't feel it or so you aren't thinking about it. But in fact, you're doing the opposite to yourself. You need to take time out or step back rather than push yourself. There is a need for you to trust here. Something is coming to an ending. Some sort of energy here is finishing out. And you need to take a more measured approach, is what Spirit is saying, a more measured approach to things rather than really pushing. So if this is a relationship, for example, and it's not going the way you want it to, instead of pushing at it, just let it take its path. If this is a decision you're trying to make about something, maybe you're trying to move on or go in a different direction, instead of forcing yourself to move in that direction, just go with the flow. Because I feel like you're forcing yourself here rather than just letting it unfold as it should. So trying to push an outcome, trying to push a desire, trying to push a way of doing or being instead of just riding the wave. This cycle is going to close out. It's going to close out. Some of you are coming very close to the end of it with this Nine of Swords. You're getting there. You're getting there. So it could be that, for example, you're going through a period of growth. It may have been difficult. Things may not have been manifesting the way you want them to. You may be waiting for work to come through. You may be waiting for something to happen, like to find a house, to plan for a holiday. All of these things will come in their own time. But for the moment, you just have to chill, sit back and allow. That doesn't mean you don't make steps towards things. You just don't force an outcome. Wow. Okay, so we have the Six of Swords. So you're moving towards it anyway. With the Three of Swords here, you're already moving towards your Ten of Cups. Beautiful. You're already moving in the direction you need to be. The cycle will close out when it's ready. You can't force things to happen because you want them to happen at this particular time. There's some sort of energy of a natural flow of events here. A natural flow towards an outcome. The outcome's not going anywhere. What you desire, what you want is already here. And I could see that in the Empress here. It's already there. And you are moving away from troubled times here. And there may have been some pain in letting go of things that have not served you, because there's past pain here as well. But whatever you're doing here, you're serving your time out the way you need to, and the cycle will close when it's ready. So if you feel like you've been in a waiting room for a long time, or you feel that you have been spinning your wheels, I'm here to say that with the Ten of Cups here, it is coming. It looks as though somebody here is delivering some sort of message, some sort of communication that's going to help you move into closing out some sort of cycle. Spirit is saying here, while you are waiting, rest up, make sure you're well nourished, do what you need to do to stay in your Queen of Pentacles energy. You are manifesting. You could be manifesting a person, but I feel that this is an energy. I feel like you're trying to strategize, plan, and get things going when you don't need to. It's already on its way. There's some sort of balance required here with both that and the Temperance. And some sort of seeing to, oh, this is beautiful. Some sort of planning for the future here. But again, it's like we're traveling along, and I keep coming up with these beautiful cards. It's like you're traveling along towards this Ace of Pentacles, whatever it is for you. This could be a new job, a new work. Maybe this is your work we're talking about. It could be a relationship. Something is coming. You just have to. This is stability at its best. You just have to ride the wave. But this is a promise that better things are to come, right? So we know that it's on its way. Let's see what the universe has to offer in terms of an oracle card. I think it's going to be a 3 coffee morning this morning. I actually slept quite well last night. I got 7.5 hours sleep, so I'm pretty impressed. We have the Sun Dancer coming through. This is beautiful, and this totally complements this reading. Absolutely. This is about joyful activities, celebration of life and abundance. As your ally, the Sun Dancers celebrate you now and remind you of the laws of success and praise. Anything you place your attention on will manifest an experience, so the laws are always perfect. Expect the best and praise it in advance. This unleashes the magic of mystical magnetic energy drawing circumstances to you to create the reality you envision. Give thanks in advance for the grace and goodwill of the divine. Be willing to dance the victory dance as your greatest dreams are realized, and watch how easily things begin to fall into place. Stay positive and leave the timing up to the divine. All things are possible now. Dance the joy of being and celebrate your life and abundance today. So there you go. The promise of beautiful things to come. Much love. Thank you.